So, in your opinion, you think that students need to know about it? Like they
Yes.
need to have sufficient knowledge about it in order not to be viewed as
Backwards.
backwards, all right? But is they have to use it in a fair and authentic way that okay. But do you think that that is something really hard to achieve? Because what can you do? Like say if you are the university headmaster, what can you do to prevent students from using ChatGPT for their homework? Like it happens behind closed doors, right? So what can you do to prevent that?
Hmm.
Would you enact any regulation or laws?
Understood. Hmm. If I if I were in history, I guess I would like ban them from using artificial intelligence because it's not gonna be effective if they
Yeah.
were to be using it.
You think it's not going to be effective to ban them
Yes.
simply because you cannot control when they use it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just you're just going to let it slide.
I mean, I can. I think I can always advise them to always to use artificial intelligence ethically
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and warn them about the consequences.
Okay. Like, do you think that all your friends who are using ChatGPT have been warned about that?
Hmm. Uh, no,
No,
no.
no.
But I mean, teachers can always know when some writing is done by AI and some writing is done by the actual student.
Yeah, sure, they do. Um, I mean, if you read two different passages from, an AI and a student, say your friend, you can immediately tell, right? Because the way that they use the vocabularies, the way that the sentence is put and constructed, like it's totally different. And also, I think the teachers can always tell because there should be a difference in performance if one student is not really outstanding but produces a, you know, too good of a paragraph. But again, that is something really hard to stop simply because we have no way to measure or to justify um, whether it is the use of AI or not. So again, that's a real problem in all universities right now. And also, if you do read newspaper, you will find out that several months before earlier, Harvard actually there's a case in Harvard University where this person used artificial intelligence in order to pass all of the tests and even managed to become a professor. But all of his work is unauthentic. So this is like a huge problem right now. So I would say, why don't if you still want to pursue this topic, perhaps you can talk about the consequences of using AI for students. Because say a friend of you who used ChatGPT to produce his homework may not have, may not have the understanding and knowledge about that subject as profound as you. So maybe that can be one of the consequences. They would graduate eventually, but with no real skills or knowledge. All right. What about the third one?
The third topic is family value.
Family values. You know what? People say that nowadays, with modernization and all kind of stuff, with a new culture coming in, they're saying that family values don't really matter anymore. Do you agree with that?
Um,
So when we say family values, what do you think it is? What is family value?
I think family values are about the roles of the family members,
Mm-hmm.
the contributions.
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm,
Say you're a kid growing up in a Vietnamese family. What are you taught, and what are others Vietnamese children taught? What are you taught to do? What are kids usually taught to do?
to behave well,
Yes. What
behave
else?
well, study well,
Study well,
uh, be good.
be good.
Um, uh, yeah,
That's all.
yeah,
Are you going to teach your children the same thing when you have them?
yes.
So those things are family values. The family values are the things that you are taught, that you are talked about, that you usually hear about, that you practice, that you do within your family, and then you pass it down. You pass it down to your new family, your own families in the future, and then your kids will continue to do that. So when it is passed down through generations like that, is family values. So family values include, according to me, is all of the things that you have just mentioned, like to behave well with the elderly, to respect the elderly, to take care of the younger, take care of your siblings and your parents, to always study well, to become a good person. Yeah, those kind of things are family values and family traditions. And just like you said earlier, the roles of the people, for example, the role of parents is to provide and is to educate the children. And the roles of children is to behave and to study well. So each person within the family organization has their own function, and they have to fulfill it well. So those are family values. However, you see, unfortunately, a lot of family values are, eroding. They are deteriorating. For example, several families right now, parents don't actually raise their kids as well as the other parents who did in the past. They neglect the kids. They let their kids do whatever thing they want. They accommodate all of the needs of their kids. So the kids grow up to be spoiled. Or, for example, the kids, they do not respect and listen to their parents. That is also an example of how family values are disappearing. So in case you want to talk about it, it's gonna be stuff like that. Does that sound interesting to you?
As of right now,
No. Okay. So why not move to the next one? What's the fourth one?
culture and diversity.
Mm-hmm. Say if you want to talk, well, do you want to talk about culture and diversity in Ho Chi Minh City, or do you want to talk about somewhere else?
Right now. Mm, let's talk about what you think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So cultural diversity. Can you like? Can you give me some example of people who comes from a different culture from you and from me? Because you and me, we are both living here, right? We're both born here, living here. So supposedly we are from the same culture. But do you know anyone who is from another culture?
Foreigners,
Yeah.
a lot of foreigners coming here to teach English.
Yes. I think that's a good example. Anybody else?
Foreigners who come here for traveling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there are foreigners who come here for business.
Okay. So first of all, the first difference that you can find is between the Vietnamese and the people who are not Vietnamese. What about within the Vietnamese society itself? Do you have any friends who come from a different province?
Um, I, uh, I, I mean, I have, but I don't know where they come from.
Oh, so they're some from somewhere, but not Ho Chi Minh City, or not your friend. Do you know anybody else? It can be an acquaintance, it can be a neighbor, somebody who comes from a different province, somebody who was born a different place and grew up in a different place from you.
I, I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
I have met a lot of friends, my university friends. They're from a different province. One of them is from the west, Đồng Tháp. You know, one of them is from the west, Đồng Tháp. Another one is from central part of Vietnam, Da Nang, and then another one's from the highlands, Đắk Lắk. And so the interesting thing I noticed that all of them behave very differently. Although they are Vietnamese and they are the same age and they are the student of the same university, they behave in a very different way as they grew up in a totally different culture. Yeah. So there are some really interesting points that you can see if you have a look at people who come from different places. However, as per your experience, Yeah, you may not know many people who are like that, so it's hard for you to make comparison. Um, so I shall say we focus on the difference between the Vietnamese and the foreigners. That should be good enough. So normally when we talk about cultural diversity, we talk about the benefits or the drawbacks of it. So why is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What caused it? And should we allow it to be like that? Yeah. Why do you think the foreigners are coming here?
Well, they come here for many different reasons. Some come here, some come here because they just want to explore Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Some come here because um, they speak English. Yeah.
So you mean to seek employment opportunities?
Yes, it is. Some people can come here because they need to do business with the Vietnamese people.
Oh, they want to do business. Yes. Why did they come here but not, some other random place like Bình or Vũng? Why do they flock here?
Because Ho Chi Minh is the most one of the most attractive tourist attractions.
Okay, why would it be? Like, if you think about it, you cannot find as many beautiful landscape or, historic buildings or, I don't know, cultural heritage as you would in other places. Ho Chi Minh City is basically full of houses and buildings. What are there to explore? All of these reasons that you mentioned are valid and true. So they come here for our employment opportunities. They come here simply out of curiosity to, to explore. They come here to settle down. A lot of them come here to settle down because they love this place. You know that I've talked to a lot of foreigners. So I've talked to a lot of foreigners after several time visiting Ho Chi Minh City. They decided to settle here because they said they love the culture and they love the cuisine. They also love the climate, the weather here. So Ho Chi Minh City is a place where there are lots of factors that would attract and retain people. The first of all is due to its, economy. So with a lot of economic activities going on, everyone can find jobs here. And you know that people need jobs, right? So wherever there's a job, there's people. So they come here in order to look for employment. The other reason is, I would say, if you want to mention why Ho Chi Minh City is so popular with foreigners, then you should really mention our culture and cuisine. And finally, one of the things you may not notice is the climate. Ho Chi Minh City has a better climate than many parts of the world where it is either too hot or too cold for people to live. The weather here is mild all the year round, so it's suitable and it does not cause, disease for old people. Do you think that the fact that many people flock here is a good thing? That it is beneficial?
Uh, it is beneficial in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
One way that it is that foreigners coming here does help to boost the economy.
Mm-hmm. So that you mean they boost the economy?
Boost the economy.
In what way?
Uh, they come here for work,
Uh-huh.
find work.
Yeah. So they become employees and then they contribute
To the
to the economy.
yes, that's one way. Another way is that foreigners can can provide their their cultural beliefs into the city, and people can and the Vietnamese people when they are around such foreigners can learn to a thing about the culture.
Mm-hmm. So it's a great way for people to exchange culture, for them to get to know us and for us to get to know about them too. Okay.
However, foreigners coming here also does has some strong trauma. Trauma. Uh, one one way is that they may cause vandalism.
They may what?
Vandalisms.
You have seen them doing that.
Well, not really.
I was surprised because I've never seen that. I think most of the vandalism is done by, people living on the streets, teenagers, those who are rebelling, rebellious.
But foreigners coming here does take up more spaces. Take up more spaces.
Okay.
Uh, they take jobs here and
Mm-hmm.
then leave the unemployed Vietnamese people with no jobs.
Yeah, sure. They take up positions.
Yes.
There is a limited number of opportunities.
Yes.
And when they take it, it means the Vietnamese have to do something else. And do you know the fact that sometimes it can be really unfair towards Vietnamese teachers? If a Vietnamese teacher and a foreigner do the same job with the same ability, graduated from the same university with the same qualification, the foreigner still get paid much higher. I think that's unfair. Why would you give two people with the same background but different salary? So that's one thing. But do you think that overall cultural diversity is a good thing and that it should be maintained?
In my opinion, overall, cultural diversity should be maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've been paying attention to your cats.
It's all right.
There's one that keeps saying outside.
They love staying there because there's sunlight, there's wind.
There's one that's yeah. Okay, so nothing to say
Yeah.
about
Okay.
this topic.
I would say that cultural diversity is a good thing because it allows people to learn from each other. Like when I witness the way that both of my, I'm sorry, the way my three friends live, there's something about each of them that I can learn from. However, cultural diversity can also, have negative impacts. When, say, right now, a lot of people, when they say we are Sinwai, right, they try to abandon the traditional values and they celebrate, they think kindly of other, Western culture's values. However, it's not like that. Each culture has its own thing to offer, and it's not right to think, you know, highly of one and then start to degrade the other. What about the last one?
Social media misinformation.
Mhm. Have you ever have you ever been misinformed by something, on social media and in newspapers? Thank you.
I don't know if I have ever been misinformed.
Back in the COVID is the time when misinformation, um, false information spread the most.
Really.
Yeah. Uh, it's really like, so it's hard to remember suddenly that during the COVID time, a lot of people took advantage of it and tried to spread misinformation in order to make money from it. They will say that, hey, this can cure COVID,
Really.
yeah, or they say some things about do not do not get vaccinated because it kills and other stuff like that. Let me Google and see the last time. Okay, why don't you do some Googling yourself? Well, you can open Google and you say, find an example of social media misinformation and say what comes up first. latest time when I read a piece of misinformation on social media is about a type of cereal that can help children gain weight. So you see, they people are obsessed with, like they say that children have to be, they have to look,
That would
yeah, something like that. They believe that children they have to wait, they have to be rounded for a little bit in order to be good. And if you're a mother, if you're a parent to say a skinny child, then people, I don't know, people won't be happy about that. They say, oh no, this child doesn't have a good health and things like that. So they want to do everything to help the child gain weight, even if it's not in a healthy way. So there is this cereal that claim to help children gain weight. However, after a long time of using, a lot of children develop really strange behaviors and there are symptoms of diseases. So when they take those children to the hospital, the doctors were terrified to find out that within the cereal there's a type of drug. So this type of drug would retain water within your body, and when your body retains water, your weight start to go up. And also, it encourages weight gaining, but in a very unhealthy way. So it makes the children dumber and they become sluggish. They're fat, but in a really bad way. And the doctor said if this condition goes on any longer, it will be irreparable damage done to both the brain and the body of the children. So I think that's terrifying.
like I said, I don't know if I have ever been listening before.
Well, in case you don't want to talk about, there's something that I would advise you to talk about. That is the fact that the China always try to spread misinformation about the sea. So you know the East Sea, right? The Southeast Sea. Um, so there are a lot of countries within the Southeast Asia that have access to the sea and have rights on it, including Vietnam, China, and several other countries as well. However, China always tries to spread information that the sea belongs to it in itself, and that is not true. If you search on the internet, half of the maps shown on Google actually spread misinformation, contains misinformation that the whole sea running across Vietnam is labeled as China South Sea, and that's incorrect. So the Vietnamese have been doing a lot of things in order to trying to combat with that. So they write a lot of emails, they do a lot of reports, and several. So there are several companies who fell for this too. So if you're a company, then you have to make sure that the country you are selling or you are doing business with is happy, or else you're gonna lose the customers within that country. Do you know H&M, a clothing brand?
H and
Yeah, H&M.
I've heard about
Yeah, H&M is a clothing brand, is a fast fashion brand, and because it wants to be able to sell to China because the population there is huge, it agrees to use the map that has the South China Sea label on it. And the Vietnamese were really furious with that. They tried to boycott that brand, and after some time, the brand really had to take that map down, and it had replaced it with the new map that acknowledges our rights to the sea. So that is an example of misinformation spread on social media.
So far, I still have not really become more interested in any of the topic. We also have a rubrics of English public speaking,
Mhm.
the criteria, the skills, stuff like that, the points, the scores.
Well, I still think that about public speaking, the most important thing is the way you deliver it, right? That is the most important thing. And don't forget to improve on the points that your teachers have made last time. That you have to walk around, you have to relax a little bit, and try to be more friendly and connected with the audience, listener. Do you know what your friends choose?
I have never asked them that because I'm so focused on me.
That's good. It's all right. I think you're gonna ace it. As long as you remain composed and try to relax. Let loose for a little bit. When you are stiff, the listener can feel it. They can tell if you are really comfortable talking about it or if you're anxious.
As for the part-time job thing,
Yeah,
I decided to postpone it.
I think so too. Because you have a lot of things to worry about right now. So you can always continue that sometime in your third year or when you feel more ready. Sorry. Hello. Vâng ạ. À dạ không không ạ, cảm ơn chị. Is there anything that troubles you lately?
I'm,
Are you doing good?
I'm just a little bit nervous about this thing.
Yeah, I understand. Well, in case you don't really cannot really come up with any good idea, you can just search on the internet, find an existing topic and talk about it. Again, I think it's the way that you deliver it is the important part. I don't think that I don't think that you should try to impress the teacher with new ideas or anything because I'm pretty sure that he or she has heard a lot. So it's the way that you conduct it that matters. What are you going to do if you're all done with the tests? Are you going to treat yourself to something?
I don't think.
So you really don't have that habit of setting a goal, try to achieve it, and then gifting yourself something.
No, it's not a habit of mine.
You're doing good mentally, aren't you?
Yes.
That's good. Since compared with the last time you told me that you have a lot of feelings, like feeling of not sure about what to do or a feeling of uncertainty or uninterested, not in an interest. Are you better than that last time right now?
I'm a little bit better.
Looking back, what do you think caused you that feelings?
It was because I felt that I was rushing things.
Rushing, like rushing what? What were you rushing?
Of getting a part-time job.
That you want to do too much thing at what time?
Because I felt nervous. Like like last week, I felt nervous when I looked into CVs.
Sorry,
I felt nervous. Uh, I felt tense when I looked through the CVs.
through what?
The CVs.
The CV
Yeah,
on the internet?
yes, just look through.
Uh huh.
And I think I felt tense because I know because I knew that there were tests coming, and that like in the back of my mind I really should spend time doing revisions
Uh huh.
instead of looking at CVs.
Mm-hmm.
I actually woke up quite early today. Naturally woke up quite early today.
What time?
4:41.
Wow.
Yes.
Like you just
Well,
naturally wake
because
up.
I went to sleep very early,
What time did you get? Did you sleep last night?
around
Really?
yes,
Did you feel tired?
a little,
Uh
a
huh.
little bit.
So I guess you've been out on the street all day.
No, no. I mean, I just went to the gym anyway.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a good night's sleep?
Yes,
And do you
yes.
feel better today? Less tired?
I felt less tired today. I felt less tired, less exhausted today. I did do meditation last night, but I did around 8. And
That's
then,
good.
and then went to sleep. brother at university.
Yeah, he's going to school today. He did something stupid, and now he have to pay for the consequence. So if your phone number is not active for too long, then they'll get it back. It will become inactive forever. Do you know that?
No, no.
So my brother left his phone number inactive for too long, despite them giving him a lot of notification warning about that. He still ignored it and just leave it there. And finally, they decide to withdraw it. So now he has no longer the owner of that phone number, and that's very troublesome because all of the account, everything is linked to that phone number. And right now he can't access to any of his account, including school account, Facebook account, everything. Not his Facebook account, but like if anything happens, he won't be able to retract it. So today he have to go to school and solve it.
Um, I've been working out so long that there comes the point where I feel my muscles are stiff.
Stiff. Do you do the stretching after you finish the session?
Yes, I do.
So you're doing that
But I still
stretching.
feel stiff. But I still feel stiff.
So have you been doing enough day off? Like between working out day, you should have some rest day for your body to rest, for your muscle to rebuild.
I only take one day off.
For a whole week.
Yes.
Then I think that you're probably not doing enough rest day. Because normally after every 2 or 3 working out day consecutively, people have one rest day for your for your muscle to simply relax, or else it will be. I think I suffered from the exactly the same condition last year. I was working out consecutively for months nonstop, and then all of my muscle feels stiff. Like I don't know, even when I was lying on my bed, fully relaxed, it just feel really stiff. And so I had to take several days off. And then when I got back to the gym, I felt significantly better. So perhaps you should get a day or two off for your body to get some rest. Because when you work out, you put your muscle into a very tense condition. And after that, just like you have to, I think it's like kneading the dough, you know? Do you know about baking? Yeah, after you knead your dough for some time, you need to let your dough rest. or else it's not gonna form into the right texture. So maybe the next time you hit the gym, you should only do cardio, like walking on a treadmill or running or something, and let your muscle rest for a little bit. Now that you're halfway done with university, if you could have a chance to talk to you yourself when you first began, would you tell yourself to do anything differently?
Uh, yes, actually,
What would
uh,
you want to do differently?
if I could go back in time and tell the younger stuff something,
Uh-huh.
I would tell him. I would tell him to attend the the English grammar course in the phonology practice course.
Uh-huh. Why did you miss those two courses?
Because generally those two courses would have helped me a lot with my major.
What did you not take it back then?
Because I did not know.
Uh,
Yeah. Uh, one of the now I know that one of the factors that make you become good in interpretation and translation is a strong foundation of grammar.
uh-huh.
And as for the phonology practice, basically just speaking, yeah, speaking well, pronunciation, stuff like that. And also what I'm help me with my intonation
Uh-huh.
when I use it.
Do you practice interpreting at home?
Uh, I randomly do it in my head.
Uh-huh. When you heard something, when you hear something.
Yes.
Does your university um, help you to connect with the alumni and the people who actually got graduate and got a job so that they can give you guys advice, recommendation and stuff? No. If you can choose again, would you still choose your university?
Hmm. I Okay. Let's say that I could go to any universities. Uh, and I wouldn't choose my university. Yeah. I ideally want to go to the more the top schools,
Like what?
those are the more community resource. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They also teach, they also have the English interpretation translation major.
Oh, so one that exactly the one that you want to do.
Yes. What are you having for lunch today?
What?
What are you having for lunch today?
I don't know. I am having a meeting with the people in my art class, so they decide to hang out for lunch today, and then we're gonna get to class. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna have for lunch.
Is there a place that you guys usually go to?
Well, this is our first time eating out with each other. But as for having a coffee, it's normally the Catty Nut Coffee right up street near the class.
Kansas City.
What?
Your Kansas City.
Yeah. So our day is their night.
No one's waking up.
What?
One is getting up. One of the cats is getting up.
Sometimes I don't know if is gonna be happier or better living as a cat. They are carefree. They don't know much. They don't get to work. They don't study. All they do is to play around and then sleep. It sounds like a peaceful life, but on the other hand, they have no control over their destiny. Like one day they can be here, and the next day, I don't know, somewhere off on the street. Like they are helpless and don't really know, they don't have no means to protect themselves. They have no decision nor control over their whole life. So when I was young, I always wanted to be a cat because that sounds so much fun. But now thinking about it,
Oh yeah. Yeah, my chick, the chick I go to now, I think they have uh, this this package. Like I only see the announcements. I don't really ask the employees, but apparently this like, but maybe you can pay around 300K for that.
But how much? Like how long is the whole package? Like six
I
months
don't
or?
know. I don't know. I don't ask them. I just saw the sign. You know?
Uh
I
huh.
don't see the sign. You know? The sign they put out there. Have you your boyfriend?
Have you?
Your boyfriend you.
Have my boyfriend what? How's me and my boyfriend?
Yes.
Like I said, we are looking for a place for him. Uh, yeah, I told you about that.
I don't believe
So
I don't.
basically, he wants to make an investment, also to prepare for the future. So he's looking for a place to stay somewhere in our district, and I'm helping him to do that. But it's been a very difficult search because there are not many options available, and sometimes we're not really happy with it. So we're still searching. He, I mean, our relationship is going on pretty well because like there's nothing to argue about. There's nothing to really to argue about though. All of the things that I used to be unhappy about are about the differences in our characteristic and expectations. And I don't think those things can be resolved. It's just a thing that you take it or leave it. Either you can live with it or can't. So I still haven't made up my mind about that yet because I'm not sure if his other good qualities can make up for the gap between our needs and abilities.